Alright, welcome to our first adventure run. This is Factory 501. And before we get started, you might notice we've got two bonus objectives down the bottom. But don't worry if you don't see these yet, they only start appearing each time you revisit one of these adventures. I will be doing my best to try and complete all of these instead of just rushing through. And like I mentioned in the introduction video, I will be doing all of these from the tank perspective as well, in this case the Paladin. Alright, let's see what this guy has to say.
Oh, thank heavens you're finally here. We were about to make a run for it. We had a very strange failure in the night. The machinery came to life on its own and started churning out combat mechanoids. Those things seized control of the factory and there's no way for us to stop production. We've got to get to the main computer so that we can turn off the conveyor.
Just before we engage these guys, you want to take note of these enemies that have the 3 diamonds above their heads. You want to make these a priority target. They usually come in a much larger number, and if you let them linger around for too long, they can do some really high damage. You want to make sure you grab these orbs here as soon as possible as well. Even if it means stopping in the middle of combat, they will disappear really fast. And remember, if you don't actually see these, it's probably just because you've got a different bonus objective to what I have. So be careful, these enemies, they do explode with AoE damage. Alright, we're going to take a little detour first. We're going to go left down this ramp, and we're going to find our first, I guess, mini-boss. I do like to lock onto enemies as well using the F key. It makes it a lot easier to track enemies with your attacks, especially when they float away from you during combat. So if an enemy escapes from you or dodges around you, you don't really have to worry about re-aiming your camera. And as you can see here, we just want to stay clear of these cluster grenades he throws out. It's really the only major attack he's got. So as you can see there, my character's sort of just automatically following the target. That's all for down here, so we're just going to go back up. As you see, we've got a time limit in this case to make 20 kills, so we'll try and go for that now. Make sure you grab these orbs. You can click on these consoles as well, that'll spark up the cables on the ground. They'll just do a little bit more extra damage to the enemies. We're in a bit of a hurry at the moment though. Is there 20? And this will be our first boss. This guy's only really got 2 attacks, so he's not too difficult actually. See if I can point them out as he does them. Is our first attack. It's got a really long start up, that skill as well. That weak beam, you can actually stand in that without taking damage, but once the full beam comes out, you want to make sure you're standing right back. And there's our next one. Just want to move back before it explodes. And jump straight back in. I will be speeding up a lot of these encounters. Depending on difficulty, they can be quite lengthy. Alright, he's taken care of, so now it's going to go over here and use the console and across the bridge. Alright, we're going to try and make our 20 kills again. There is a mini-boss just up on that ramp there, but because we're on a time limit to kill this guy, I'm going to go down here real quick and we'll come back. Oops, I left that one a bit too long. So you can see how quickly they can disappear. Alright, so that's our bonus objective done. So after this guy, we'll go back and kill that mini-boss. Okay, back this way. He's got exactly the same attacks as the first one we fought. Just gotta watch out for these grenades. I've never seen him come down here before. Alright, so we continue on and go take a moment just to look at the level there. Love the design of all these places. You have another console here as well, by the way. So if we click on that, this is cable spark up. And during these mobs, I should have mentioned earlier, you've got the scissor menders. And these guys put down wards that heal in a pretty large area, so you want to make sure you run up and push spacebar on the little totem ward it puts down. Otherwise you can have a bit of a tough time killing these guys. Let's see if I can make him place one. There's our final orb. There he goes, so that's what it looks like. Just walk up to it and press spacebar. And that's pretty much it for the run. Now we've just got our last boss room. Just before we run in, you want to take note of these consoles in each of the 4 corners. So we've got 1, 2, 3, and then 4. I'm going to do them in that order as well, starting with this one here on the far left. And go around clockwise. And that'll remove this barrier around the boss.
There can be only one victor, and it will be me. You don't stand a chance. I can keep summoning mechanoids until you fall.
These enemies will continuously respawn. And just like we saw earlier, when you activate these consoles, it will spark up the cables. So you can get lucky and sort of get them caught, just for a little bit extra damage. So I don't think we're going to have time to activate that one. Keep an eye out for those beams coming from the mechanoids on either side. They attack so infrequently, they're kind of a non-issue, but be aware of them just in case. Here we go. This guy's pretty simple, but you still want to be careful when you're up close. Make sure you've got your shield ready.
I can keep summoning mechanoids until you fall.
Oh, I've got our super ready, so I may as well use it since the last guy. And there we have it. So if you made it this far in the video, thank you very much for watching. I know I'm not the most entertaining person to listen to, but I hope you found this helpful. I can't wait to jump into the rest of these and share them with you guys. Until then, I'll see you next time.